Okay. I try, so you know, I try to just sort of not get too involved in the first episode, or in the first episode of the session, because it just, I don't know. It probably would be fine if I just was like, okay, so I'm here now, Cyberpunk, but, you know. I digress, though. Cyberpunk. Yeah, so, again, Carrie Urdine's Chippin' In is probably my favorite samurai song. I have to... Hold on. Okay, I got Black Dog up on SoundCloud, so we're gonna listen to that, so I can actually give my feedback or my opinions on that, and then, but yeah. Sorry. So yeah. Okay, so why am I in a cyberpunk mood despite everything, I guess? Well, you know, for one thing, sorry. For one thing, well, I bought Cyberpunk Red, so I've been looking through it, and I've been hankering to run a game, and I'm planning on running a game, but I haven't, like, gotten, you know, everything straight of who's gonna be there, you know, so I'm going to need to go through all of that. Sorry. So, I'll just pay. Why not? So I've been reading through that, and it's very interesting. Some of the differences between the tabletop game and Cyberpunk 2077, the game, are very interesting. And I mean, it's very interesting as well because there are people. Well, for one thing, I can tell you there are people who bought Cyberpunk 2077 and did not play 2077 because of because it just had such a bad reputation. There are people who have played Cyberpunk 2077, do not know it was a tabletop game, who have watched. There are people, and as much as there are also people who have definitely seen the anime, but do not realize that it was that the anime is based off of the game that is based off of a tabletop game. Which is just a little bit annoying because, like, I mean, it's whatever. But you know, but it's also a pretty good. I mean, maybe I'm a little preemptive here, but I would say it's a really good game. I mean, I have my concerns. Okay, so, okay, so how does Cyberpunk Red compare to D&D? Well, you have more skills. That's not really that big of a deal. It's more of a game design thing than necessarily a mechanically bad thing. But just overall, I like it. But yeah, there's a bunch of skills, and they are pretty granular. So, you don't have a piloting skill, you have a, driving land vehicles, piloting sea vehicles, piloting air vehicles, which, is pretty granular, and you do have a decent few skills to keep track of. Yeah. I guess D&D really isn't that bad though, right? Because it's like, well, you would add, like, for ranged weapons, you would add... Ooh, okay. Okay. You would add, a roll would be... Nah, that's fine. Oh, well, an attack roll would, be a d20 plus your dex plus proficiency if you have it. And Cyberpunk, you would roll your reflex and then your weapon skill if you have it plus a d10. So and I mean that's yeah. And I mean, the only other difference, there are theoretically times when ranged opponents could theoretically dodge bullets, so you have to have a contested roll. You don't have to do that. There's a little bit more complexity in terms of ranged weapons with ranges. Oh, great. So there's a little bit more specialty between the different kinds of firearms. And then you always have to have... melee weapons are always contested. And then there's armor, and an interesting way that armor works. I don't know if I would say it's completely realistic. Basically, you have a certain threshold stopping power. So, like, if you shoot somebody with leather armor, let's say you roll 4 damage. The stopping power of leather is 4. It stops the attack, no damage gets through. If you do 5 damage, then the leather goes from having 4 stopping power. The target takes 1 damage. Armor goes from 4 stopping power to 3 stopping power, and it's ablated. And it will remain that way until it's repaired. And then if you have armor piercing, it'll ablate 2 stopping power instead of 1. But it's my understanding, like, you can't ablate ablated armor, so you can't, like, so armor doesn't have, like, HP. It's just, if you've done damage, it'll continue to do more damage, but it's not, well, it will do more damage because you've knocked down the armor threshold, but it's only going to do that once. It's not going to keep ticking down. So there are some weapons where it's insanely... where if you're using a weak weapon against some really strong, or maybe not even really strong armor, you're not going to do shit. Which is a little bit concerning, but... yeah. And then, the biggest thing, the really biggest thing in my mind, net running does not work at all like... in 2077. Quick hands are not a thing. Quick hands, maybe I'm wrong, I don't think they were ever a thing. Maybe I could see them being a thing in 2020, maybe, but and I should also say there is an Edge Runners supplement that's going to be coming out for Cyberpunk Red. If they add quick hands, that would be where, but I mean, the only problem is that realistically, like, And I mean, I could come up with some way to integrate that, but the thing is, you have to have, you know, okay, so the netrunner gets into a network and then has to interact with, you know, certain people or, you know, with enemies. But the only thing is that it's completely requiring those enemies to be connected to the net in some way and to have cyberware that you can, like, malfunction, that you can sabotage, which is not everybody, believe it or not. So Cyberpunk 2077 is definitely interesting in that regard. Very interesting little difference that I really want to see how they deal with that in that supplement.